U5, rated U5, U5, rated U5, U5, rated U5, U5. Rated U5, U5 Entertainment, Fantasy, Embassy Sky, yeah. Yo babe, I've been thinking about you all day, and I thought I should let you know how I feel. So I wrote you this song, and I hope that you like it. And I think about her, yeah, and I think about her. I think about her, yeah.
This is rated U5, this is U5 Mix Live.
I'm thinking about her, I'm thinking about her.
Today in the studio, we've got the high-speed young outlaw, Stacs.
Yes!
What's up, Stacs? How you doing, bro?
I'm alright, man. What's going on, man? How you been?
Chilling. Everything's going well over here. Getting ready for the big snow season coming up.
Oh, wow, yeah. It's gonna be a freeze the whole week, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to the show. You were here on the last episode. We kind of did a year wrap-up for 2025. And here you are back again, the first guest here on the show for the podcast. I appreciate you coming back.
Thanks, man. It's an honor. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So we got U5, Jen Bear U5, the track in the back right now. I'm going to go lower it down, but just wanted to bring this episode with Jen Bear. She was the first artist of the U5 Entertainment back in 2008 and went on to perform at the American Embassy in El Salvador.
Oh, that's hard.
She was my first artist and performed at the American Embassy in El Salvador, San Salvador. So that's one of her tracks now. We see you on the Grab Champs, we see you on the Vandal Hour. Shout out to those fellas that are putting on that product. That's what's going on. That's good to go and keep, the hip hop element alive, whatnot. And so, we really didn't have an opportunity to go and have a deep down discussion and whatnot. And you probably covered a lot of this there in the other shows. But for U5 Newsflash, we wanted to go and just have a sit down and talk about some of your past with the graph, your big move where you're at now, what's going on in your life, upcoming projects, and things of that nature. Because back in the 80s, man, everyone was seeing those SCSs, and I used to love the way you go and take the tag straight down with the SCS going straight down, and your infamous, S throwies as well.
Right.
So, just let's start off with when did you get involved with graph, and what actually possessed you to get involved with the first element?
Actually, believe it or not, my father, when I was a little kid, probably like 6 or 7 years old, my father lived in Red Hook. He was a squatter. And my father he always used to draw and draft things, and he always used to sit me down and make me draw. He used to force me to draw. So we used to take the train all the time, over there, the R train and all that, the G's, and I used to always see graffiti in the train, and it always opened my eyes, like, wow, this is crazy, it looks great. So when I was a kid, I used to notice that, and then what really bugged me out was one time I was on the 61 bus near Peter Luger's with my father. We were ready to go to Red Hook. The 61 goes to Red Hook. And I was probably like 7. And some dude just came up to the bus and just bombed the bus. And I was like, oh, wow. It looked like a superhero or something like that to me. And I was like, so ever since then, it caught my eye about graffiti. Like, I never wrote graffiti, and obviously I was only 6 or 7. But that's how it really caught my eye. And then I used to ride the train to see Bet. The legible stuff that I could read was Bet, B-E-T, A-N-T, Net, N-E-T, Bones. And I used to look at the trains were always bombed. And it was something to do in the train. You know what I mean? You look at the trains and like, wow, this is really pretty cool, man. You looked at it. So that's how it opened my eyes to graffiti.
So being that your father was, forcing you to go and do the artwork, whatnot, but it was
Yeah.
what type of art was he involved with? Do you know what type of
He was my father raised pigeons, so what he always did was he used to draw his schematics about his pigeon coops,
Oh,
and he used
okay.
to always draw he used to always like draw out these graphs because
Mm,
he was his pigeons were his life. So he would
yeah.
have he would draw like the charts, the bands and he used to go catch his birds in the streets. So he used to write down where he would catch the birds, what
Oh,
feed he used, what time, what day, and so he always used to draw. And then, as I said, he would draw like the schematics of the coops and different places. So he wasn't like a professional artist at all, but so but
so what did you know? So obviously he was flying the birds on the roof for a while because
yeah, he used to have birds on the roof and
yeah, I
actually in
had,
the backyard in Red Hook, because as I said, he was a squatter in Red Hook. Back in the
okay.
days, in the '80s, when it was wild, the
Uh,
chimblings were right across the street from the house. But he had the pigeons in the backyard, and he used oh
yeah.
man, I hated cleaning the coops, man. But
And I tell you what, there's a lot of work. I'm glad you mentioned it, but there's a lot of work with raising pigeons. My brother
yeah,
got involved with that. I had a couple cousins that were involved with that. Some of them had up to 50 birds. And
yeah,
you had to make sure that they got accustomed to you. You feed them and you whistle,
right, right,
leave and come back. And I always wondered, like, how could you go and manage to go and keep the birds with you? It was all about, they know that they've got a home, they know they've got the
yeah.
food there, so they wouldn't leave and just fly away and never come
No,
back.
you know what he would do is my father. Typically people would purchase birds in the chicken markets, but my
Right.
father would go around. He'd have a route. Like that's how it got me into going like all city around New York. So my father would go all city catching pigeons, like legit. He would go to the Bronx, to Manhattan, to Queens, to Long Island, upstate, and he would catch the good ones. And I listen, I don't know how he did it, but my father could spot a bird like 3 blocks down. Oh, there's a little blue bar tiplet. I'm like, yo, I don't know how he knew these birds, man. But yeah, but it was a big deal, man, back in the days, And believe it or not, the postal service started with pigeons, from what I understand. That was the
Yeah,
first mail service, courier,
right, they used to
was a
use that.
pigeon.
And not only did they, but you've got other countries that use other sorts of birds like falcons and things like that.
Yeah,
And also to show wealth. As a matter
yeah.
of fact, it actually had a really honorable history. I mean, it wasn't, now they're kind of like the rat bird of the states. And it's a shame because their history, they were actually honored and they were dignified birds that they would use. I remember my cousin getting the big chested homing
The
pigeons.
homers, yes,
The
yes, yes. The
horns,
big,
very, very nice. And also the fancy tailed ones. They have the ones with the fancy tails, and
the
they have the
tail,
ones
yeah,
with
yeah.
the feathers right around the end of their wrist from
The
their
booty,
legs.
yeah, with the booty
Yeah,
cat and the caps. They have the caps. Yeah, my fuck, yeah, it's
a lot of
crazy.
fancy ones out there, and it was a lot of work. And I remember, my cousin be up there on the roof with a flag, and he wave, and he make
Yes,
the birds out there fly from the left to the right, back and forth, and then come down and
uh,
to behold. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
Mike Tyson's is really involved with that as well. Mike Tyson.
Right, yeah. You want to hear something? Two things like with graffiti, with pigeons. That's how fuck crew. Can we curse? I'm sorry. Fuck crew is a
Yeah,
crew.
yeah, yeah,
Fuck crew, LC and them, and they had pigeons on the roof, and that's we kind. When I told them about my father, we kind of clicked and bonded more about that. It was pretty cool,
yeah.
man. And since you're from Bushwick, and I lived in Bushwick for 7 years, one of the biggest pigeon raises pigeon whatever you want to call them lived on DeKalb, I think it was, and Myrtle. He did a book and everything. He was like one of the biggest pigeon breeders in the world, like in
Really.
New York City. I
Because
don't know if you knew the guy.
I remember there was a Myrtle Avenue near Broadway that they go and cop the pigeons, and there was certainly one around Graham Avenue because everyone was
Okay,
involved with it. I mean, the darn pigeons is crazy. I
yeah, man.
of course to feed those things back then, because back in the 80s, it wasn't so expensive to live, but when you're feeding 50 birds, you know, they're gonna go through that food quickly.
Yeah. You want to hear something crazy? My father would feed us pigeons sometimes. Well, try to. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Like the kings, he would call them the kings, the big white ones.
right.
People eat them. I don't know. I couldn't. I wouldn't eat that day, man.
No, yeah.
But
Yeah.
whatever.
But shout out to Bai, and
Yeah.
the rest of the fuck crew from Us Crazy Kids. Yeah, I remember those guys, man. It's been a while, and then yeah, I think Li passed away. May he rest in peace. Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's been a while, but so I guess how did you acquire your name? Was that your first name you wrote, or how did
No,
that
actually,
evolve?
no. So what happened was, but my mother and father, before my mother and father split, this was before we lived in the Bronx. So when we split, my father was squatting in Red Hook, and my mother and my brother and I were living in Williamsburg. Because I bounced around, so that's why if I don't know if you got to listen to my interview with Graph Champs, I was all over the place because and I legitimately lived all over the place. So I think I kind of got it down now. So we lived in the Bronx. When my parents split, my mother moved my brother and I closer to my grandparents, which was in Williamsburg, which was
Okay,
on Bushwick Avenue and Ainsley Street.
okay,
So that's how I got acclimated with. I got together with AMK crew because they always used to hang out on the block where my grandmother lived. So I had
Mhm.
no choice but to bump into them. And since they used to pretty much run the neighborhood, and I was a young kid just coming into the neighborhood,
Mm.
and I'm running around the streets playing sports and stuff. I had to show a little color. You know what I mean? Like I had to show that I wanted to hang out and be involved. So
Yeah,
I was going to a school, St. Francis of Paula, I was in fourth grade, and then there's kids from GMC crew. I don't know if you ever heard of GMC from back in the days in Greenpoint.
no, no.
Um, Stroke, Roa, Mid Ike. Maybe you knew Mid Ike.
Maybe I got seen. Yeah,
You know who else knew it was down with GMC, which was also a connection of ours was Rister. Remember Rister, U5?
yeah.
Rister was down with GMC back in the days. Because Rister's an old school dude, man. Remember Rister?
It's
Rister was a good dude, man.
been a long time since I even heard that name, quite frankly.
Yeah, man. Rister was a dude. He was a good
Yeah,
dude. See, I was close with his aunt because she lived on my old blog. So anyway, I used to take the bus with these dudes, and I used to write Slim because I was a little fat chubby kid. So I always just write Slim, and I used to live near the garbage trucks on in Maspeth. We moved to Maspeth after
Oh,
some time. So I would hit the trucks and come back and whatever. And
is
so
that
I
by
started
the
writing Slim first.
is that by the area where they had the giant those big domino buildings that they collapsed? There
That's
was
the
two
other
of them.
side of Greenpoint.
That's the other
Yeah.
side. Okay.
Yeah, I lived there after like the late 80s, early 90s. I lived in
Yeah,
that side of Greenpoint.
yeah. That was the Brooklyn Twin Towers used to call them, and before they before
Yeah, the Greenpoint Towers. Yeah, we used to play baseball there. That was the Greenpoint Little League too over there.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So how
that's
did
how
that work out then? You was writing Slim, you was tagging up,
Slim.
huh?
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right,
I
all
just
right.
used to hit the buses. I mean the
Hmm.
buses. Yeah, I used to write on the back of the buses with the marker with Kong and Hawk. They used to write from GMC.
Yeah,
And then since I lived near the garbage trucks, I would hit the garbage trucks that go and run in my house. Then there was the freight tracks. You know the freight tracks over there that go behind like Western Beef. So I used to run over. Yeah, I used to run along the tracks and hit little
yeah.
things, and pieces of wood, and the power supply boxes and stuff like that. So,
There were a
so
lot
that's
of
what I used to.
factories over there. There was a lot of factories over there, and I remember one time I went bombing with this guy who was a veteran. He had just came out of the service. He was an older guy. He was probably like 10 years older than I. He used to write um PON. No, it was PON. But I also knew a guy who wrote Poen, POEN,
Oh,
and
okay.
they actually crossed each other's paths with, when I was bonding with one of them. He was like, yo,
Right,
what's
right.
your right pawn? He go, what's your right pawn? And they just kind of looked at me, so I'm like, wow,
So
but
Palmer from Bushwick.
yeah, the one that
Palmer
I'm
from
mentioning, that They were both tall. One of them, like I mentioned, was a veteran. He wore around with a Rebel knife. When
Yeah,
he
I
went
knew
up,
Pond
when
knew
he
Stack. I
was
knew
young,
Pond knew Stack. FUA.
yeah, right. If
They
you
rolled
wait,
up. They tried to roll up on me on my crib one day.
yeah,
Mazda, Pond, and Rom. If you remember them, three. I didn't even know them. But
yeah,
that's why you mentioned Pond. I never heard of him until now that you mentioned him.
yeah. But the other pond, like I mentioned, he was a tall guy with like kind of a short crop
Oh
afro.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was kind of interesting. But yeah, around that area, I remember they had the factories, and they also had a lot of the garbage can trucks right there, a lot of the sanitation trucks
Right. Yeah.
were
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there as well. So it was a good spot to go and hit the trucks.
Yeah. Nowadays, there's good truck spots over there. A lot of people go there for the trucks too now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, then again, I can't say now. I'm talking 5, 6 years ago was the last time I was in New York, really.
yeah.
So, but then I don't know. So from there, when I wrote Slim, I don't know what happened after that. We moved to Seagate, and then I started going to junior high school, and then
Mm,
I just started. What happened was I used to live in Seagate. If you know Seagate's at the end of Coney Island.
okay.
So what happened is I used to take the bus and go to Cavallero Junior High School in Bensonhurst. So I used to take the bus with
Oh,
all the Coney Island kids. So I was friends with this dude from the White Project buildings in Coney Island named Lack, LAC. So we used to always chill together, and he was not. I ain't gonna lie, not for nothing. Like I can remember now, back then he was really good. He used to draw characters and stuff. So I used to write with him. He used to try to teach me to draw, because I used to sit next to him, and I used to write like Lack, and I used to try to draw the characters with him, and so I was still doing it like that. And
right. And
then
what grade were you in at that point? What grade? Junior high school or
I
high
was in
school?
junior high school, so I was probably like sixth, seventh.
All right, so you were in junior high school. Okay, at that
Right. But now after that, we moved back to Williamsburg again.
point. Oh, okay.
We moved to Russell Street, right off
Okay.
of Meeker Avenue, and that's when I went to junior high school in 26. So that's when I kind of linked up with AMKUF.
Okay.
And then what happened was, since now everybody's writing graffiti, and I'm like, wow, this is the new thing, and everybody, and I was like this big fat kid. I was always soft and quiet, and I'm still soft, dude. I don't like trouble. I like to hang out with people and socialize, but it's
Yeah.
like I wasn't fitting in. Like I was an athlete. I was always playing sports. I was more of an athlete, dude, in the street playing sports. But I wanted a little recognition where I could be comfortable in my neighborhood. So I started hanging out with the dudes writing graffiti in the school cafeteria. So my boy, Bobby Stewart from Bushwick Projects, was like, "Yo, we got to give you a nickname because everybody got nicknames." So yeah, my man Glenn Reed was like, "Yo, let's call him Steaks," because I was always big.
Hmm.
So then my man Bobby's like, "No, no, that's Stacks, man. We're gonna call him Stacks." So I was like, "Oh wow, okay." So that was probably around, when was I in junior high? That's probably like seventh grade, sixth grade, about seventh grade, right after sixth grade. So in seventh grade, I was probably like what? I don't know, 12, 13, maybe. So that's when I officially wrote STAX.
STAX.
Yeah, I didn't want to write
Oh,
STACKS. I started
okay.
writing
So,
STAX first
okay, I didn't know that. Go ahead.
because STACKS was the proper spelling, but I didn't want to write the whole thing out. You know what I mean? That takes too long. I was always scared. I just wanted to write my little name quick. And then I had a little quick way to write it that was quick and good, you know?
Oh,
So
so
so I
how
started.
did you turn the leaf and go from stacks with an X to the CS?
All right. So now what happened was, while I was listen, I was getting up a little something something as a young kid, because another thing was I always traveled a lot. Like AMK always pretty much stood on the block, and they would travel a little bit, but like me, I always had family in other places, and I traveled a lot. So I would always get up in certain places. So when I also playing baseball, I wanted to go to Grover Cleveland High School, because Grover Cleveland back then had the best public high school baseball team besides Bushwick. So what happened was, I was hanging out the summer before I was supposed to go to Grover Cleveland High School, and I was bombing a lot. And then, from what I understand, Stack noticed my tag. I didn't know nothing about graffiti, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's. Stack was like, "Yo, this was biting," and he started dissing me. So I was like, "Oh man!" Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. You know what I mean? I'm a young kid. I don't know what the hell's going on. These kids, oh, this guy's gonna kill you. This, I'm like, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, bro. So, so I don't know. What happened
He
was,
was a headbanger, Stax.
yeah,
Stax, he was a headbanger. I think he had this crew at FUA from up above,
FUA, yeah,
and he went to Bushy for a while. And for a short period, he was actually down with U5. And he
right,
come to my house here and there and tag up on the black books and talk about graph, talk about his favorite spots like CBGBs and stuff like that. And so he kind of went his way and we went ours. But yeah, so
yeah,
continue.
yeah. So, yeah. So he was mad, and I don't know. It's weird, bro. Now that I think of it, that I'm old, it's weird. Like I don't know. He wound up popping up in the middle of no. Listen, where I was in Greenpoint, where he rolled up on me, you had to
Yeah,
have a reason to be there. So now I'm thinking somebody's tried to set me up. I don't want to go there because
yeah,
listen. I'm good.
right,
I have no qualms against nobody.
right,
You know
right.
what I mean? Now that I'm old and I'm realizing I'm not gullible and naive, there was no reason for him to be there other than
Yeah,
somebody told him to be there at that certain time. But it was
yeah,
for the good. It was for a good reason because we handled up. You know, Stack was like, "Yo, you gotta drop your name and this and that, blah blah." I'm Stack. If you wait, blah, blah. I was like, "All right." You know, and I'm not gonna lie, I was scared, even though I was with two heads.
mm,
But I knew something was out of pocket. I could, you know, when you get that gut feeling. So I was like,
right.
all right, you know what I mean? I'm cool. You got it. So I'm just like, I can't give up my name, my verbal name, because that was given to me. But if he's saying it's close to him and I'm biting off the STAK, if you think STAX is biting, I'll change it to a different spelling. You know what I mean? So out of respect, I
Yeah,
changed it because he's an older dude. He was older than me and I
yeah.
was the new Jack. So I changed it to STACS. But then I didn't want to write that whole thing out because I tried it a couple times. Like I can't do this, man. So I abbreviated to SCS. So that's how I got the SCS from Stax. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my favorite style when you go put the SES because
Oh,
it's
thanks,
I
man.
mean, you can probably do that in a second and it's done.
Yeah, yeah,
Now the S throw that you have though, which I'm gonna put up,
yeah,
uh, that S throw looked a little bit interesting because it wasn't a fluid thing. You're going back and forth and doing the big circles in the bottom. It was kind of
yeah.
weird, but I mean, that thing became so popular that just that one S. You didn't have to go and do the whole stacks. You didn't have to do the SCS. All you had to do was just do that S, and everyone knew, okay, that's stacks.
Right, right. Yeah,
I loved
thanks.
about that S. The S was really fabulous. I really liked that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's
So, well, when did you start getting like really, really deep with the graph? And was
um
it, did you really get deep with AMK, or were
well
you
what
with
happened
some other
was
crews?
what's up?
Or were
Um
you with some other crews to get popular before you went into the young
no,
outlaws?
what happened was
Young
yeah,
outlaws?
what happened was I was let me see what actually really got me like I guess with UF with Exile. Did you know Exile?
No, no.
Exile and Theme and Gooba, rest in peace, and well, and Gumby. You know Gumby, of course. Gumby's
Yeah,
U5.
Gumby. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I used to so from AMK, and when I lived in that on another side of Greenpoint, I was cool with them. Exile I would always hang out with Exile because Exile's a sweetheart, man. That's my dude, man. You know. And then you know from them we linked up with Checo, rest in peace, and
Mm,
Checo was another one. He loved to meet. He loved to hang out with people, and like you know, I was always into meeting people, and I loved meeting different people. That,
right.
that that was my link with you guys was when stuff happened with Tech with Tech MOB. So from
Yeah.
Checo, I met Tech MOB, and that was a rap because Tech is my dude, man. Tech
Yeah.
MOB was a really
Shout
solid
out to
cat,
Tech.
man.
Man.
I'm sorry.
Never hooked up. I said, shout out to Tech out there in Florida. Each time I'm in Florida, I try to go and hook up, but it
I
doesn't work
met you. You know,
out.
I met you for the first time with Tech, if you
Really?
remember. I remember the first time I met you. If I'm not mistaken, it was Tech FA. Remember Anthony FA from Tech's Block?
Yeah. I
Scuff
with the
before
whole TNG crew, right? With DY and Jokey and
we met you on your block at the pool hall on the corner of Broadway and Grove.
Oh,
And
okay.
we were with Scuff before he wrote Scuff when he wrote Cast. And Noxer
Oh,
was with us too. Kes
yeah,
Five was with us, and we went to hang out with you at the pool hall. You remember
yeah,
when you used to hang out at the pool hall right there on Grove and Broadway?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Tekken FA took me there. I'll never forget that. That was a long time ago. That's like in '88, I
Yeah.
think.
I think FA wanted to join in the Coast Guard and became a coastie. I don't know if he's still in or retired. Or
Really?
he probably retired,
Oh,
but
I don't know. He was a great. He was a solid cat, man. That was a
yeah,
solid dude, man.
FA, BU and Roval were with used to
BU
hang
and
with
Rover
them.
were cool people. Yeah. What about
Yeah,
What about these cats? The brothers.
G and Rad.
Frey, Frey,
Oh,
and SA.
Frey. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah. So that's
Mint.
interesting because like you said, you were 6 years old, you started observing around you, the graffiti, and then as you got into junior high school and you started getting more and more involved with the graffiti, and you seen how big the community is. Because there's so many writers, just from that era, not even from the 90s up, but just in the 80s, there was tons of writers.
Yeah, hell yeah.
There were
Especially
so
from
many.
especially from like our area, like Williamsburg and Greenpoint. Some dudes from Greenpoint that I think that you might be affiliated with. Remember Tame and ESK from Greenpoint?
No,
They
I've
used to
seen
put up
them.
BS.
Yeah, I've seen them up, but no, we weren't. When you first started in Bushwick, the only popular cruise back then was MSD, the original
Oh,
MSD
yeah, yes,
under
yes.
Wreck. May he rest in peace. And
Right.
then after that, I think the popular writers then was Show, who kind of took
Rest
the
in
mantle
peace.
and ran with it. And then he had, Show, Sept, shout out to Sept, and Deem. I think it was Dage that was tagging up as well. Naz was up in the area. Even the guy from the Ghetto Boys. I think I've got his poster somewhere around here. Little If from the Ghetto Boys.
Oh, really? Get out of here. He was down with MSD.
No, he was down. Well, he was a graffiti artist.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, the midget, the short guy. Where is
They
he?
used to hang out at Putnam, right?
He goes right here, Busher Bill, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
This
don't
guy, this guy was one of the Ghetto Boys.
get out of here, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's from Bushwick, and he used to write If.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he passed away, man. He rest in peace. Bushwick Bill. I think his son is rapping now as well. But yeah, it was a lot of writers out there, and a lot of crews that were just starting up. The
Yeah.
old school crews in Bushwick were like, Riders Revenge, maybe TPA, the Public Animals around BSK. Shout out to those out there in the BSK crew. Um, DG
S-
was doing his thing as well with NWC.
Same Top too was from Bushwick, right? Same was on. He lives to live on Bushwick, right? Same Top.
Same top. I don't know if he was from Bushwick or not, but it's SAIN, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
top. Yeah, MOG, Masters of Graffiti, Pizer, may he rest in peace,
Yes.
KO
I met.
crew.
They were cool people. I met guys a
Yeah,
couple times with LC. Rest in peace.
yeah.
They were
So
good dudes, man. Pizer and Poor. You know what's crazy? Listen. I'm gonna give you an official apology, Poor. I didn't know that was my man Poor of KO, bro.
yeah,
Because you meet dudes and you're like, you don't know who's who. And I used to chill with
yeah,
your cousin Poor, man, back in the
yeah.
day.
He's my bro. He's my bro,
Yeah,
Core.
I swear to God, it's bugged out. I didn't know because you don't
Yeah,
know the different ones. But yeah, Poor. I met
yeah,
Poor with Pizer, rest in peace, with LC on Tompkins Avenue and DeKalb one time at the
yeah,
Chinese restaurant. And then from there,
yeah.
every time we saw each other, we were like, "Yo, what's up?" The last time I saw Paul physically was at a LOC party in
Uh,
near the Bushwick Projects on Broadway and somewhere over there near the bike shop.
mm,
But yeah, I want to give an official apology to Paul, man. You're my man. I forgot about that.
yeah. So he's doing this thing. He's getting back into the music, the rap game, and coming out with a bunch of tracks. You might be able to catch some of his tracks on YouTube, and he's got them on, I don't know if it's Spotify or some of these other iCloud maybe. But he's doing his thing. He's trying to go get on the label and whatnot. I
Oh,
think
that's cool.
maybe with through like Benny the Butcher and all these guys out there in Manhattan and the Bronx. And let's see what happens.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so you started writing SCS. Tell me about your first Black Book experience, man.
Oh, wow. My first Black Book experience.
What
That was
was
probably back with oh man, I don't even know, man. Probably when I was writing STAX.
yeah,
My boy Sino, like Sino's a Sino. You ever heard of Sino? SENO,
yes,
KNB, NOK, AMK. He's a good
yeah.
artist. I kind of learned a lot of stuff from him. He used to do a lot of black books and stuff. He used to always make me do black books and stuff like that because
Mm,
I was always whack and I was just learning. So it's like you got to get in order to get better, you got to keep practicing. So
right.
that was probably my first thing was doing black books, learning to get better from Sino.
Mm.
Yeah.
What was your biggest street bomb? I mean, if you could pull out like
Oh,
the top bomb that you went out, like he
like a
destroyed.
one, like a night that was really solid. Oh. All right, probably.
Who was it with? If you were someone else, who was it with?
Ironically enough, the longest, most, how could I say this? The most constructive bomb I've ever done was with rest in peace Checo. It was, and believe it, ironically enough, it was a blizzard. It was a snowy blizzard day. There was like one point. Listen, it was Checo, myself, SC, Jis, So P2D, and I'm not sure if Mist was with us or not. But we started at my house in Greenpoint, snowing, blizzard, snowing. Probably at like 9 o'clock at night. Walked over to Williamsburg Bridge, and it was so cold that SC stopped writing. At one point, we looked at him, and he had like 2 inches of snow on the top of his hat, and we were all like bugging out with him. But we went, yeah, we started from there, and yo, we caught this dude messing with this chick. Checo took a snowball, threw it at the car. The guy jumped up. God knows he must have conceived a child that night. But anyway, we started over to Williamsburg Bridge. We walked through the LES, all the way uptown to the 59th Street Bridge, all over the 59th Street Bridge into Long Island City. And then we took a train to the Bronx and we met up with Bugs, DC. It was Bugs, DC, and somebody else met us in the Bronx, and we started hitting highways out there. We didn't finish till like 6 o'clock in the morning, but it was bugged out. And I got to correct something from Graph Champs.
Uh,
Joe and Jis and I, when we were hitting the highways, Jis and I left a certain spot where everybody was to go kick down some trees, and we were Tyke and No TFO rolled up on DC and them, and they met them. I
mhm.
think in Graph Champs I said it was Just and Meant. It wasn't. It was Tyke and No TFO. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, it's crazy when I
Yeah.
think too fast sometimes.
No, it's
But
okay.
that,
It's a
but
lot. There's a lot to recollect, because we're talking, 20, 30 years,
and hey, Jays, you know what else too? I don't talk about graffiti much, so I get excited. You see, I'm like, you get
yeah.
excited
So yeah.
because listen, I'm not gonna lie, it controlled my life a lot. I loved it. Like I really did meet a lot of good people, solid people, and I can't. You should say no matter how straight edge you are, and God bless you, you're military. You know what I mean? Thank you for your service. You still have those great, solid memories of good people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's always in your heart, man.
Yeah,
And it sucks.
regardless of
But
what I do in my life, and that'll always be a part of me. My upbringing. I never forget my roots. So when you
it,
were out there that day on that snowy day, did you have experiences with the nozzles freezing up or getting clogged?
yeah, a little bit probably. I don't really remember, but yeah,
Uh, I
it
remember
was crazy.
kind of
I,
going your paint
actually,
freezing.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Yeah, there were episodes when the paint gets so cold, the paint just freezes. It just gets so cold you can't spray anything. It just
Yeah.
won't work well.
Believe it or not, I went on a good mission with Roval, BU, and Nisk one night.
Yes, okay.
Nisk had just came home, and I was working at T-Rex. Remember T-Rex on 8th Street in the city back in the day, the airbrushing store?
Yeah.
So I used to hand out flyers to get people to go upstairs. And Nisk was like, "Yo, what's up? Yo, we gotta go bombing tonight. I'm back. I'm home. And this and that." I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "All right." I feel bad. I don't want to set him off because I know he just came home. So I'm like, "All right." So I met them in, I think, Roval's house. Is it Roval and BU brothers?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I met them at their house. We ate there too and everything. But anyway, we went out from Bushwick. We walked down Broadway to the Williamsburg Bridge. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. We wound up in Long Island City somehow. That's what we did.
Mm.
We went to Greenpoint, over the Greenpoint Avenue Bridge to Long Island City to the Ghost Yard,
Yeah.
and then we wound up in Manhattan in the city near the Lincoln what is that? Lincoln Center. Oh man, we got bagged over there though. It was fucked up.
Oh,
That
and the
was
Lincoln
yeah.
Center.
And
That's a
I
hot
don't want
spot.
to yeah, I don't want to get into anything else over there, but
Yeah.
yeah, but that was a pretty big night. We did that. That was night was pretty big.
What
Yeah.
do you think what do you think about the way graffiti has kind of evolved and morphed over the years? I mean, because back in the days, we had to go and create our markers by ourselves with, Garvey ink, or folks used to even get the carbon paper and create ink with that and the
Yeah.
alcohol. I mean, and grabbing erasers to go and create the tops, and then the pentel markers started coming out, and
Yeah.
the metallic markers, and remember the unis with using the metallic
Yeah, the
ink.
little
Oh,
fat wide, the little skinny
those,
wide.
yeah,
Yeah.
those are great. They used to have the
Yeah.
unis, like the 2 finger and 3 finger unis, and
Yeah. Yeah.
because you can go online and people are showing you how to do a throw up. People are showing you how to do letters. People are creating. They've got these different nozzles where you can connect two different spray cans and it can do two colors at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
it's
They
really
got the
really crazy.
extinguishers too, right? That's crazy, right? With the extinguishers. You ever see those? I don't know, man. God
See,
bless them, man. We
man,
were, but we were resourceful back then, man. You know what I mean? I used to
yeah,
love making homemade markers. I used to love that. I used to use the black shoe dye. So Petrie
shoe
put on the
dye.
black shoe dye.
Yeah,
But
those are cool.
Petrie is nuts. He used to just hit it with the stick. Like he wouldn't even
Yeah,
make a marker. He would just take the dab, the little ball.
right.
And I'm like, yo, that's too sloppy for me, man. But he never got dirty. He was always proper with it. But
Uh,
yeah, I used to always have to make my markers. But nowadays, it's like, God bless them, man. I don't know how they do it, man. It's. But I tell you, it's really, it's amazing. Like one day, I'll tell you, for instance, I watched Tats Crew do a wall one time, and and the thing is, they got to go through like, yo, they no joke, they must have went through like 5 dozen caps, like legit, like to do a burn of like the whole wall, because
mm,
some of them are so fine and so meticulous. Yo, it's crazy. Back in the
yeah,
days, we had one GIF that would last us for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, the
yeah,
orange middle,
yeah.
the blue middle, the aqua middles.
And not only that, I mean, you had the place like the scrapyard, all these outlets that are selling graffiti paraphernalia, and like, for us to go and get our hands on a gift that can write, thicker than 2 inches, it was like a dream.
It was like
We didn't
gold,
have
yep.
to go and get these things. We didn't have to go and get our jet blades and go and kind of make like a cross on the
Yes.
gift so we can have something that stick. Because if not, imagine trying to do a panel or a whole card or top to bottom, whatnot. With just a regular spray can, you'd be there for hours just,
Oh yeah.
spray painting.
And some of those caps are proper. I'm not gonna lie. Some of those caps are fat and they're proper.
Yeah, they got some good
And
saucers, like the saucer type style caps. Oh my gosh, they're awesome.
I don't know how to use them, man. Either. I would
Yeah.
love to learn. I gotta learn, but I don't know. It's crazy.
Now, some of the Rustos these days, some of them you can actually twist the nozzle and it'll go and spray out a certain thickness. It can go from thin over to thick just by twisting the nozzle. It's really crazy.
Wow. God
Yeah.
bless you.
Well,
That's
what
great.
was your biggest piece that you rocked? Where was it? When did you do it?
A
You-
piece?
Were you into rocking pieces on the walls, or just throwies or tags, or what?
No, but you want to hear something crazy? I've done about 4 or 5 pieces. Want to hear something wild? And I could swear to this. Like we used to just write, man. Like especially like walls. Like one day we went to a club or something like there was a whole crew of us. And what happened was we used to meet at White Castle. Remember White Castle and Metropolitan Avenue?
Oh
That was like
yeah,
our YO hangout. So like everybody that whenever they would finish throughout the night, they would come meet there. We would go meet there, and we'd chill out and have burgers and chill out till like 6 in the morning. So one day we were there. It was like just OS 501, Dune FUK, myself. Damn, there was a whole bunch of Catch was with us. Dessa, I think, was with us. A whole bunch of us. So what we did was we went behind the BQE over near Cherry Street. You know the side of the BQE when you're going on to go to Queens near the Kosciuszko Bridge. There was that handball court. Well,
yeah.
back there was all factories, totally
Oh,
dead. So we were there on a Sunday morning early, and we just started blazing shit. So Doom
oh,
was doing a piece. OS was doing a little solid, like a little straight letter. Just was doing fill-ins. I was doing something. But yo, you want to hear something crazy? We had no permission. There was a cop car just chilling there. I don't know if they were just chilling there watching us. They didn't
really?
ask us if we had permission. Yo, I can swear to that. They didn't ask us if we had permission. They were just sitting there chilling, probably eating their
That's
lunch or breakfast
crazy.
or something. But yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, man, I'll never forget that. And then we used to do this thing called the hut, which is when you come if you're coming off the Kosciuszko Bridge going into Brooklyn to Greenpoint, the first exit in
Hmm.
Greenpoint,
Is it
there was a
Morgan
little bit, huh?
Meeker? Is it Meeker
Yes,
or Morgan Street?
yes. There was a little ditch in there that
Right.
we used to chill in there any time of day. We used to just do pieces back there. LC came through a couple times, was by, and AS1 TMR, rest in peace, came, just and missed, and yeah, we used to just chill out over there.
Do you have so tell me how the young outlaws, how did that start off? Why did it start off? How did it start off?
So what happened was one day we were in 126 schoolyard, myself, my boy Dime, um, Oak, and ASK, not ASK GLK, ASK from the south side of Brooklyn.
Hmm.
He was away for most of his life. I don't know. God forgot. He did some things, but anyway. So we were hanging out, and there was like, yo, we got to come up with a crew. And Oak, remember Oak MSD?
Yeah.
Oak was my boy too. So Oak was always like everything was like yo, 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 yo. So I think it was Dime. It was like, yeah, so we should come up with make yo a crew. And Oak was like, yeah, yo, yo. So yeah, between Oak and Dime, we came up with YO, Young
Okay.
Outlaws.
Young
Yeah,
outlaws. I thought the young outlaws was more. I didn't know it was when I first. I didn't know if it was graffiti related or gang related because don't forget, a lot of the old motorcycle clubs that stem from the south side of Brooklyn. I know you had a history in Williamsburg, so there were a lot of the old remnants of the motorcycle gangs and that sort of
right,
thing. And I know it was making a comeback as well in the
right,
'90s. They started coming back, especially on Bushwick. There was
right,
some motorcycle clubs. They call them clubs now. They don't call them gangs, but
right.
so yeah, young outlaws. That's pretty neat.
So
That's
now,
pretty neat.
now to get into the outlaw part, what it is when I was a kid, I lived in a single mother household. So what happened was while my brother was supposed to be taking care of me, I was always home alone. And I was only like 7, 8, 9 years old. So rather than being home alone and scared, I would be out in the streets. So I would hang out in all the bike clubs. I would hang out with the dirty ones. I would hang out with the unknown bikers. If you know the dirty ones, you knew Pee Wee. You ever heard of Pee Wee and
Yeah,
Mello? Mello,
yeah.
they used to take care of me, man. I was like their little son. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So instead of being home alone and scared, I'd be in the bike clubs hanging out. And I'd go run errands for them. They'd give me a couple dollars, they'd feed me. So that's where my young outlaws came from.
Gotcha.
I used to
Wow.
hang out in the after hours. I'd go make deliveries, make money, a couple dollars. So I
Yeah.
was like a little young outlaw, you know what I mean? So that's what was pretty cool about it. Yeah.
Well, do you still have ties with, the old crews before Young Outlaws and also with the old, the Young Outlaws members with
Well,
any of the groups?
no, actually, no. Well, I canceled out of all social media a while ago. I just started doing Instagram again. So
Okay.
I've connected with Oak. Oak is on Instagram. Ask, between us, Ask, he went away for a while, and I think he's still away. I don't know. He did something. So, and Dime, I talked to Dime like a couple years ago. I talk with his brother sometimes. I talk to Atomic. I talk to Atomic once in a while. Atomic LOC. Believe it or not, you want to know how I got cool with Atomic LOC? I want to mention something that's a throwback right now.
What's up?
TCF crew. Nest TCF.
Yeah, of course.
That's how I met Atomic, from Nest
Yeah,
TCF.
he's a cool guy. I always like Nest. Nesting, as a matter of fact, he's out there in Florida and he's a DJ now. And so
Kayak, right?
Kayak.
Yeah. I talked to him a couple times on Facebook a while back. He's a sweet
he's
dude,
a cool
man.
cat. I don't know where the hell my cousin Siga, he used to be his pal, Ciga, Siga. I don't know who he's at, but I remember Hal as well with TCF, and then VM9, Venom 09, and all the others. But yeah, Ness was a cool cat as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Nest was cool. That's how I met. Well, that's how I met Atomic from back in the
Surf.
day.
Wasn't there a guy named Surf as well? Surf?
SERF. Yeah, Surf.
Right.
Yeah.
Was he the one that had the lines in his eyebrows? One of them
Probably. I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't really remember.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And you want to know something crazy? I used to, believe it or not, I went to hang out with TNS sometimes a lot. And I didn't even know it was them. Because they used to have the club. Remember Solo Pa Mi Gente?
Yeah.
Before it was Solo Pa Mi Gente, wasn't that the TNS spot to hang out? The bar, the club? I used to hang out in that club a lot. And I didn't even know that was a TNS spot. Yeah. And that was back in like 88, 89.
Well, I wasn't a part of the new school, but I was a part of the old school with TOS, with CQ, Ono, and those guys.
Oh, yeah. Who else? Cord was up a lot.
Yeah,
Cord TOS, right? Wow,
yeah, shout out to the TOS crew, man. I don't know where CQ and Ono
Them
are,
dudes was up, man. Cord and EJ. Was it EJ? Was EJ TOS?
I don't remember him.
EI?
EI was a BSK guy. He passed away recently as well.
Oh, sorry to hear that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, BSK guy EI. May he rest in peace, man.
Oh, wow.
So did you have any wild stories when you were out, maybe in the freight or in the yard? Any like scary moments?
Wow. Trying to think.
Almost got hit by a darn train, almost fell off a freaking platform.
Actually, what's crazy? I did almost get hit by a train.
Ooh.
I was with this kid named Page, Page. I don't know if you ever heard of him from AMK. He used to always put up IF too. He put everybody down with IF. I never put it up because he said, you know what it is? I don't put up a crew unless you tell me yourself, So anyway, he took me to go bombing with this dude AS1 TMR one time in Woodside near the Amtrak trains.
Okay.
And and this is my first time in the Amtrak trains.
And I'm not gonna lie,
man. Listen, I swear to God, man. I'm like a cat. I think I have a couple lives left. But I almost legitimately got killed that night. I was doing the tunnel, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden a spray can just came out of nowhere. And no joke. And the clearance was only probably like 10 feet. And those trains move. They're going like 90 miles an hour.
Right. Those things are fast as hell.
That can came at me, but it didn't hit me hard. I grabbed Page by the throat. I thought he tried to, legitimately. I never talked to him after that again. So that happened to me. No, I'm serious, bro.
It's messed up. That we lost a couple of our boys, Sony and Slickman, they rest in peace.
Yeah, right.
55, whatnot. So, I hear you, man. I remember we were at the 121. I think we were with Famer, Sony, Audi. There was probably about 9 of us out there, 121. And yeah, those damn Amtrak trains, man, they come zooming by and you can't. You don't hear them. They're like a freaking cat that just walk right by you. You won't even suspect that it's there.
No.
And there was a couple, times where we were very close to getting struck by these trains as well. Those Amtrak trains, man, that's why those suckers are going quick.
Yeah, that is scary, man. Damn, there's a couple things. What else? I don't know, man.
Any Tom and Jerry or Van Squad moments?
Yeah, you want to hear something with Vandal Squad? When at the peak of my time, when I was writing hardcore, I used to hang out a lot in Unique Boutique and Canal Jeans. Well, what's the one where they used to do the airbrushing? That's Unique Boutique, right, in the
Yeah,
village.
yeah.
And Jerry was Italian, if I'm not mistaken. So he used to always talk to me, and he knew who I was, but he never bothered. He told me straight out. He goes, "You want to know why I don't bother you? Because you don't taunt us. You know, like everybody writes, fuck the cops, this and that, blah blah blah, and they go in their
Yeah.
face." So yeah, and I never elaborated anything with him with certain things that he'd ask me, and I would just sit there and just chill. But I never, thank God, I never really had a problem with that. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. You know what I had a problem with? I had a problem with the sanitation department. They called my house one day and told my mother that they threatened my mother. They said, if he doesn't stop, we're going to sue you. But somebody ratted on me. That's the thing that's sad, right? Isn't that messed up? Somebody
Dude,
that knew me
you
gave
gotta
them
be
my
the
phone
only
number.
artist I know that got called by the sanitation department, bro. And it wasn't for a job.
No, imagine that. Yeah,
That's crazy, man.
yeah. That's why you listen. You want to know something? Jeez, that's why I stay to myself now. I don't trust nobody because
Yeah,
obviously somebody gave them my phone number. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
Somebody who knew me, who was supposed I thought was my friend. So it's like, come on, it's scary, it's sad, and that's from my old neighborhood in Greenpoint. So
And that's the way it was back in the days when there were no cell phones, when you had the phone hanging on the wall, and the only way people would get your number, someone gave it to them, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's so. Did at, at some point did graffiti get ugly to you? Did you wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm tired of this shit. I don't
yeah.
want
When I
to
when,
see this stuff.
actually, yeah, there was a time when I was like when I was on the fence because I love listen. I'm actually baseball is my love, man. I love baseball. And I'm actually crushed because of things that happened with me in baseball, man. I should have
Right,
been, I should have been a baseball player. But what happened was living, my mother being a single parent, and then what happened with me in Grover, Cleveland, I couldn't go to Grover, Cleveland because again, supposedly a friend of mine snitched on me and told him who I was because I was bombing Grover, Cleveland, and
right.
supposedly the dean told someone to tell me that if I go there to sign up for school there, they're going to lock me up for the damage that I did in there. Imagine that. So again, another friend, supposed friend, ratted on
Mm,
me and snitched on me. So that crushed me. So that's when I said, you know what, damn, something's got to give, man. So I told my mother, I said, Mom, I'm tired of doing this stuff. I want to go to Christ the King High School. Now, Christ the King, you got to pay and stuff like that. My mother was, we weren't well off. So my mother's like, what do you expect me to do? I can't do nothing. So I was
yeah.
kind of crushed with that. So I just started going crazy with the graffiti. And then when my mother tried to say, you know what, we got to straighten out, we moved to the Poconos for a little while. I was living in Pennsylvania when I was like 16 or 17. And
That's a different environment. The Pocono,
uh,
that's way out there.
but I was coming back and forth for a little bit. I couldn't take it out there. I was going crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Because it's you're out there in the boondock. I mean, it's nice there, right?
yeah,
If you want some peace of mind and want to write a book without any distraction, the perfect place to be.
I was going out there on the weekends on first. No, I was living on there. I was going home to New York on the weekends because I had my girl out there. I was still going out with my girlfriend Raquel at the time.
Mm,
But it's like I had a job and it's like I had to walk like 3 miles from my job all the time and it sucked. People would throw bottles at me and shit. You know what I mean? It's like it was scary. So I couldn't do it no more, man. And it's just like, I don't know. So I wound up getting a scholarship. My brother kind of hooked me up with a scholarship for baseball to go to Texas to play baseball. So that's when I kind of said enough's enough, man. I gave all my stuff away. I gave like my black books to Web 113. I gave like all my markers to SAS, FSU, XTC. I gave markers and paint to OS 501. I just gave all my stuff away, and I was like, I'm done, man. And it's just like, yeah, I couldn't. It was just I gotta click the switch and just do one thing or the other, you know. So I was trying to focus on baseball, and then when I got to Texas, I got hurt. So it kind of crushed me again. So It
So
hurt.
I guess before we move any further, what team did you root for since you were in New York? Were you a Yankees fan or a
Yeah,
Mets
yes, I'm a Yankee fan. Yeah,
fan? Okay.
yeah. Are you a Yankee fan?
Yeah, I grew up. I mean, I kind of was fond of the old school Yankee lineup. And I'm talking about like Bruce Gossett, Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, Bucky Dent, Don
Don Baylor. Yeah, yeah.
Natalie, that sort of thing. And before things changed, and when I was a recruiter in New York City, I spent so much time behind the wheel driving, recruits back and forth, driving from the recruiting station down to the base in Fort Hamilton. And so I said, let me go listen to the Yankee game. And I used to listen to Yogi Berra
Oh
and
wow, that's hard.
others, giving, calling the play and whatnot. And it was great. I loved it. Then when I watched it on TV, it didn't feel the same. I'd rather listen to it on the radio than watch it on the TV. And I've been to a couple of hockey games, but it was boring for me to be there.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather just be in the car listening to because there you can use your imagination. You can kind of listen to the commentary and the play-by-play, and
Right, right, right.
yeah, so that sort of thing. But yeah, the Yankees was yeah, it was definitely I was rocking the pinstripes, back in the days, the
Yeah,
NY.
yeah, yeah. And
And
baseball was a link with me with that SC Gist and Mist. If I like, it's queer. You know who else would fuck crew? Because I used to play baseball with LC's nephew called Little Nene. Did you know Nene from the fuck crew?
no, no, didn't
I used
know.
to play baseball against him. He used to play for Sarah J. Hill, and I played for Van Arsdale. So when we met each other in the block over there in Kosciuszko, he was like, "Oh shit, what's up?" Yeah, it was pretty cool. So it's a small world, man. It's crazy.
When I got into politicking back in 2018, I wanted to sponsor a little league team there in Bushwick, and they were called the Bushwick Titans. As a matter of fact, I'll change the camera angle, and I've actually got one of the T-shirts. We devised it
Get out of here, really.
within. See if I can do it now. As a matter of fact, within the name Bushwick, I wanted U5 to be represented there, and so we had. If you can see that, you had the BU, you had the U5 for Bushwick instead of the BUS. I had the U5. I don't know if you can catch that with the camera angle or not. You able to see that?
The 81.
Let me see if I can bring this over a little bit more. You see that red shirt there?
Okay, yeah.
That actually
Oh,
says
yeah, there it is. I see it. Yes, Titans. Yeah.
Bushwick
Oh,
Titans.
Bushwick. The U.S. is U5. Okay, I see it. Yes.
That's how I was cleverly went and placed
Oh, that was
the
pretty hard.
U5. Yeah, that was my plug there, U5 with the team.
You
They
play
wanted to
baseball
sponsor.
too?
No,
You
I
play
didn't,
baseball?
but I just sponsored the team here for a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I sponsored the team for a bit.
Yeah.
Back.
Yo, that's how I met SC, man. What happened was when I used to live in Greenpoint, and I used to take the train, the G to the F. And what happens is, I don't know if you ever noticed, there's baseball fields right before you get to Coney Island on the right on the F train. So
Sure.
I used to play those baseball fields. So I used to bring a can of paint with me all the time, and I used to sneak in the train yard, take a little tag, and break out. So one day, I had a True Blue can, and the cap came off and sprayed my cleat. So I'm going to
Uh,
put on my cleats one day, and my man Mike was looking at me. He's like, "Yo, what's up, man? You got paint in your bag?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "You right?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's up, bro?" He's like, and that's how I met SC and Mist OAM. And then from them, I met Jis and So P2D and Bugs AEW. And yeah, so
yeah.
baseball like kind of linked me to, how things link you to. It's crazy. Yo, just like with Stack FUA, you know what's crazy? I was close with his family.
Hmm.
I knew Stack FUA's sister because I used to live on Stanhope between Bushwick and Evergreen. So his sister's in-laws were my neighbors. And they loved me. I loved them. They used to give me food. I used to talk to them. We used to, because I lived there for 7 years, and I talked to everybody. And it's
Yeah.
crazy when they found out that, oh, Joey's my brother, this and that. Hey, Bob, boop, 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 boop. Yeah. So that's another thing how, like, it's a small world. How Stack and I kind of
Exactly.
like, that's why it was kind of cool. How Stack and I just like, we like. I like Stack, man. He was all right. He's pretty cool. So it's weird how it's a small world, man. Bushwick, you know what I mean, too, especially.
Well,
Yeah.
moving up from away from Stanhope up towards Knickerbocker Avenue and even around Grove, there was another crew that was getting popular. That was the KOR crew, the Kings of Rock,
KO.
and that was
Okay.
with PNR, Viral, Viral. GA was it with them. I was down with them. JC, DSR, Bim, I think.
Pima, Pema.
Pima,
He
yeah, he was.
Pima was nice. Yeah. Yo,
Yeah,
he was nice.
Sear. Yeah, Sear, I think was done with them as well. It was a lot of good. It was a good. Amigo,
I don't know. I know
Amigo,
piano. Piano's cool.
and Stice, Stice, Sticer, Stice. So
I don't know.
that was a pretty good group. And we used to go to this place called The Door in Manhattan. It was kind of like a chill out spot after school center where kids go, and there was like all these different organizations were in there, Planned Parenthood and all these other organizations in there, counselors, and one
Get
of
out of
them
here.
would take us out to go camping. One of the counselors, so they took the whole KRR crew
Get out of here.
out to Van Cortlandt Park out there in the Bronx, all the way up there in the
Oh,
Bronx.
wow. Sounds like the Warriors, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were out there camping, and dude,
That's
we
hot.
went after one night of camping. We went to go and get breakfast at one of these local these diners, and we wanted to get into a brawl with like 15 men, and they were all down with
Get out of here. Wow.
KKK guys, bro. Fighting with each
Look.
other. It was really crazy fight right there in the diner. And these guys wanted us bad. They went so far as to go and put the platform on the train on fire, so we wouldn't be able to go and take the
Wow,
train.
that's sick. Really?
Yeah, it was really crazy. We had to
Wow.
walk all the way to the next stop just so we can grab a train. But it was crazy back in those days. That had
Wow,
to
I
be
can
like
imagine.
1980, maybe like 1988.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Yeah. Yeah, time's
87,
wild.
80.
Yeah,
I
time's
never
wild
forget
back
that
then.
day. I never forget that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about no, what is your most what's your favorite art magazine or art book? I mean, everyone knows about so many art and others, but what's your favorite?
I don't know. You want to know something? I really don't read the graffiti books much. But, I don't know. Oh, I thank you, man. It's crazy. I didn't notice that you gave me a shout out in your book.
Yeah, that's right. I
You
did.
put a shout out in your book for me. Yeah, that was pretty
And
cool. My ass. But I don't know, man. My favorite books, magazines. I don't know. I remember back in the days they used to do what was that? Soho's that was the first original store over there.
yeah, so what was that? They used to sell the photograph,
Yeah, GA
Nick
used to start
one of
over
those
there.
guys.
Didn't GA start over there with his magazines? I don't know, really. I don't. What is it, the source, the Mass Appeal or whatever? Mass Appeal was pretty cool.
That's a tale, yeah.
Yeah.
Vic 4, I had him for a show with the graphic scenes, explicit language, GSXL magazine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
he's doing his thing as well. Uh, What
So
about movies? Any movies or there's a lot of videos out there. I think there was one called State My Name, and there's one called Bomb the System, and other graph related movies that have come about. Uh,
yeah.
any any of them that you were fond of? Any of the graph movies or
Well,
videos?
naturally, back in the days, everybody sweated the videographs 1 and 2. It was only 1 and 2 with
Yeah,
JA. Jay was the man, and the fucking Bomb 5, and
yeah,
what was pretty cool about Videograph 2, I think it was Micro Bass and Sage. Remember
mhm.
Micro Bass and Sage, the guys from Pittsburgh or Philly, or what? I mean, from Pennsylvania. Yo, I
Yeah,
wound up becoming really close with them dudes, man. It was pretty cool because when you see them on Videograph, it's like they're like the superheroes and shit, you know?
yeah,
And then when I met them, they were fucking sweet dudes, and I started hanging out a lot with Micro Bass and Sage. And Sage used to come to Greenpoint and hang out a lot. And then
yeah.
Micro actually did the tattoo for me. Like we became kind of close, and they're really good dudes. So I like the videographs were okay.
One thing I
Them-
really liked was the intro music. When you start hearing the intro music,
oh
it
yeah,
gets you in it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, for those that are just joining us, and this is Radio U5. This is U5 News Flash, episode number 20. We're here with Stacs Young Outlaws, YO crew, just
What's
catching
up?
up on the old days, whatnot, and just trying to figure out like what's next for you. You know, you got
Oh shit.
any art? You're gonna come out with a T-shirt? Or you're gonna come out with some artwork, some prints, or something to that effect? I think. What
I
do
don't
you
know,
got
man.
graph wise? Oh, you kind of like that was your era. It's done. You're moving on to
Yeah,
other.
no, you know what it is? Honestly, right now, like what happened was getting into like how I moved here to Pennsylvania. Like, I was gonna get married. I was living in Rhode Island. You want me to get into that now too? Because it kind of gets into
Yes, it's all you. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, I left New York. I left New York and I moved to Rhode Island. And then I was out there for like 7 years, and then I kind of hooked up with an old friend of mine from like back in the days, like. And whatever. Listen, whatever happened. We wound up breaking apart, but we were engaged. We had the common interest of ownership of the condo that I was living in. So I wound up selling it and coming out here, and I was heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. So it's like, you know what? You see, I got fat, man. So I got heavy. I got overweight. So right now, I'm here. I'm exercising. I'm working out. I'm trying to get my health back. So it's
Yeah.
gonna take me some. It took me like 5 or 6 years to totally blow up the way I am now. So I'm
Mm,
not trying to rush and do it like I was doing Ozempic. I don't want to do that. So I'm just working out now. I got my gym downstairs. I go to the pool. I go to the pool and do some aquatic stuff. So once I
right.
get settled health wise, I would like to, like, I started this YouTube thing, with my cat
So you
to
talking
introduce
about
myself.
a cat? Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
your cat, right?
What's up?
That's your cat, right?
Yeah. So what happened was I did that as an introductory of myself because I initially I really want to get into like since I was an athlete, I know how to exercise and eat right and stuff like that. I want to get
Yeah.
into like how you can reshape your body without
Okay.
surgeries and
I'm gonna put you on. Listen, just hold on 1 second, because when you said cat, I've got a really good friend over here that he wants to come on, just because I think maybe he just wants to get a little bit of publicity. But then stand by, let me bring him on.
all right.
Man, you're really bothersome, you know that? That's funny. I thought I was gonna put you on, right? You ready to talk? What you got? Yeah. All right, here he is. For those that don't know, I'm gonna introduce the second mascot that preceded that came after into U5. And this is Alley Cat U5, and he's just a nosy
Get out of
person.
here.
I don't know what to talk about, but what
Oh,
the
shit.
Alley Cat,
You.
where are you going? Get back over here. Yeah,
Get out of here.
Alley Cat U5, all the way from Vietnam.
Are you serious?
All the way from Vietnam.
Get out
So
of
you
here.
talk about what U5 Enterprises, this became the mascot of the company U5 Enterprises. All right, Alley Cat, take it
Well,
easy.
that's hard.
We'll get some catnip. Sorry about that.
Get out of here. Yeah, man. So that's about it. So I don't know. I was doing something with my cat. And believe it or not, I did a video with her, and somebody reported it, man. Do you believe that? It ruined my whole algorithm.
Serious? I mean, from back in the
Bro,
days, people calling on you, the sanitation's on you, all these other,
bro, I don't know, man.
not even to the cat video. What's wrong with a cat video? That's
Bro,
not.
listen, my cat, I don't know. I was kissing, listen, it was my birthday. So I was giving her 52 kisses for my birthday for 52. I'm 52 years old. And I don't know what happened. I had a good algorithm going for like a month. I got 198 subscribers. I was happy.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, after I did this video, boof. Nobody was looking at my videos. My videos weren't being viewed. So I knew right then and there something happened. Somebody
Mm.
must have reported me or YouTube something. So every video I would put, I would upload. I would only get like 2 or 3 views instead of like 1,500 or 900 or 800. So I'm like, damn, this is terrible. So somebody must have reported me. So I said, you know what? Let me just leave it alone because the main gist of my YouTube thing is I want to do physical transformation, self love. You know what I mean?
Right.
Spreading love. I was always a peacemaker. You know what I'm saying? I like all the shit that's going on in the world. You know what I mean? I'd rather just like. So I think it starts with our individuality. Like I like what you said. What you when you want to run for president, you want to change the parties. I believe we should
Yes.
eliminate the parties. You know what I'm saying? I think if we're gonna like if we're looking at, say you're looking at a poll, and we're already voting on a divide. Why do I got to look at a party, right, left,
Right.
Republican, Democrat? We should just look at a person as an individual. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I agree with you. I
So
agree with you.
I think it all starts with ourselves. You know what's another thing that's crazy? Now that I'm living here in Pennsylvania, right? Like people look at you, they're like, it's weird. Like, oh well, like not I'm not getting racist, but I'm just saying like, well, oh, you're white, but you're a city person. You're not from here. You're from here. Or even stupid shit like people driving cars. Well, he drives a Chevy, but I'm a Ford person. And yo, bro, what's up, bro? Like, does it really
Yeah.
freaking matter, bro? If I drive a Chevy, a
I
Ford,
think it really boils down to just human beings. Just from the moment you see a person, you're gonna start judging them. The whole saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover." But human beings are like that, and we'll judge everyone. We'll judge strangers. We'll judge family. We'll look in the mirror. We'll judge ourselves. Like, man, I don't look good today, or this is my better side. I mean,
right,
human
right,
really just need to take a chill kind of just accept stuff and just
right.
enjoy the moment, and not always be like, looking for something that's different. I don't know. I think it's probably inert within us all, just like we have what I like to deem the duality of man, the propensity that we can do good or we can do bad. We all have
You
that.
know, start
Uh,
yourself, bro. You know what I'm
yeah, we
saying?
do.
Listen, not to talk, not to pat myself on the back, but like even like back in the days, like I was a white dude hanging out in Bed-Stuy because I feared nothing because I love people. If you give love, you're gonna get love back. You know what I'm saying? If you're
Yeah,
gonna give fear and hate, you're gonna get fear and hate back. You know what I'm saying? Not
right.
to sound like I'm gonna pat myself on the back, but I think I brought our movement together pretty well back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Like look at what GA and AMK shit. You know, GA could have stomped the shit out of me. You know when I first met GA? But he
Mm,
must have sensed that I was lovable and I was, you know what I'm saying? And it was, yo, it's all love, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I want to preach to people. Bro,
right.
if you could love yourself, you could love others. You don't, there's no reason to fear anything but God, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just love each other, bro. Stop fucking complaining about every goddamn thing, bro. You know what I mean?
I encourage you to continue what you do with your channel.
Thanks. I'm
And as a
trying,
matter
man.
of fact, now that you mentioned it, how do we find you? Or what channel? What's the name of the channel?
Oh, it's Stax Charlotte Story O. Like you
Uh,
spell it, Stack Charlotte Story with an O at the end. I might change the name, the spelling though. I haven't posted anything in a while. I haven't uploaded anything since the week before January 1st because that's my
okay.
birthday. And I'm just gonna wait a little bit because everything I've tried to upload a couple things the past couple weeks, 2 views, 3 views. Meanwhile, I was getting like 700 views, 900 views, 1,000 views. So obviously something's wrong somewhere with the algorithm. So
Yeah.
it messes me up because I know somebody screwed me over somehow, I think.
And
And if
look
I
to
thought,
see whether, yeah, is there a way to go look at your settings or like, on your channel and see if there are any complaints or anyone has made any
I don't know, there
mentions?
probably is. I'd have to check. I
Yeah,
don't
take a
know.
look at that. And do you share it as well? Because you can manipulate, you can go and put tags on your video so that way whenever someone types in the word cat or lovable cat or cool cat or you know, then that gets kind of like inserted within all these different algorithms and keeps it going. And if you don't have any of those tags, then there's less tendency for that to be caught up and swept up, going viral.
But yeah, I'm
So you
trying,
can do
man.
that.
I'm a, you know what it is? I want to go live. I want to start going live soon when I feel a little better. And I got to straighten up my house a little bit more. Because from
Yes.
what I understand, like from some people that I talk to, is if you go live, that's when you get more recognition and you can
Right.
get more viewers and
Yeah.
subscribers and stuff like that. You get your voice heard a little bit more.
Right.
So I just gotta get a little more calm. I want to lose a little more weight. You know what I mean? And I'm starting to work on I got diabetes, so I actually got my sugar in control, thank God. And I'm
Good.
starting to once I feel a little better, hopefully by the spring or the summer, I'll be okay. You know. And then I want to start doing some stuff with my logo with the S because I like it. I'm not gonna lie, I do still do some work. I'm working on something for my neighbor. So
So
I
do
don't know.
you
I
have?
still do. Huh?
What about where's the cat at? Is the cat by you?
No, the cat, she's downstairs. She's mad or something. I don't know. It's freezing today, so she's smart. It's colder up here than downstairs, so she's probably staying downstairs near the heat. Yeah,
Warmth.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I got my heater, my space heater here. So she stays downstairs where it's warm. She's smart.
Uh, uh, so do you have any children? You don't have any kids then, huh?
I have a daughter. She's in school in New York. She goes to Queens College. She
Yeah.
lives with her mom.
Is she involved at any with any sort of art, whether
Actually,
dancing,
yes.
singing?
Actually, yeah. Actually, she's going to. Actually, she's starting this week. Next week, she started computer science and she's doing some stuff with anime. She wants to do anime design.
Anime is awesome.
She wants
Yeah.
to create some anime some cartoons and shit. Yeah, she's pretty good. She's happy with it. She loves it. She lights up when she talks about it. But we had a rough we've had a rough relationship. We're just working on it now.
Good.
So
That's good.
yeah,
You mend the relationship and move forward.
yeah, that's all. I'm trying. You know,
What do you
I could probably blame myself a little bit too. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I mean? I can't blame other people. I've learned to take accountability, man. I think accountability is big, man.
right?
I might have done some things that she didn't appreciate and she didn't like, and maybe I didn't listen to. So I'm working on things now. So we'll see. Just like
You
she's,
know,
it's a two-way street, man. Love,
yeah.
So
But it's doable and things can be fixed, with
yeah,
time and energy you can fix things and make things better for the future. So,
yeah. All I know is thank God, God bless her. I know she's with, her mother. I'll always love her mother because her mother gave her to me. You know what I mean?
mm,
So I know she's in good hands. Her mother takes care of her and her stepfather. So other than I always tell her, like, no matter what, as long as you're okay is all I care about. You're safe, you're happy, you're clean, you have everything you need. And
right.
she's good. So my daughter's Boricua. Her mother's from
Yeah.
Cabo Rojo.
My
Her,
dad's from Cabo
get
yeah.
out of here. Her mother's from Cabo Rojo. Her father's from Santurce.
Wow.
Yeah, good people. They're from Bushwick. Well, no, actually, they're from Williamsburg initially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad used to live in South Second back in the days,
Get
as
out
well.
of here, really?
But yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he's from Cabo Rojo. He passed away in 2018, but
Oh,
uh,
sorry to hear that.
it's okay. And I actually went to go and visit, his town, Cabo Rojo. Really interesting spot.
It's supposedly all water, right? That's where all the water is. It's like hot. It's a lot of water.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
beautiful. I heard it's like really beautiful. I've never been there.
I prefer the left side of the island where Aguadilla and Crash Bowl and all those things exist on
Oh,
the
okay.
west. But yeah. So let me ask you a question. What is it? Is there anything as far as graffiti is concerned? Is there anything that you want to leave with the culture for folks that are just coming across this video right now and say, "Who's this Stax guy? What's this all about?" Is there anything you want for newbies that are just coming on board that are, like really, really interested in the hip hop culture, which is now like $1 billion industry compared to when we started?
Right.
Anything you want to leave for folks that are just getting involved with graffiti? Any tips or
Right.
any?
Um, I can say just be genuine, be yourself. Don't try to be something you're not, man. You know what I mean? Don't try to be like I was one person. I was never a rah-rah person. You know what I'm saying? I was always a chill. You know what I mean? Be yourself. You know what I mean? Don't fear nobody. Be happy with yourself and respect everybody. Respect everybody. Don't respect everybody the same. That's one thing that I always say I was proud of. Whether you were a new jack or a top-notch writer, I always gave you all the same respect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Respect and be genuine. Be true to yourself. And trust yourself nowadays, man. Don't you know what I mean? Don't, it's tough, man. You're loyal to like one certain clique. You know what I mean? There's other people
Right.
out there. It's a graffiti is an entity. It's its own world. You know what I mean? Back in the days in the 70s, the 80s, I could understand it was cliques. Now it should be a unified system. You know what I'm saying? There's no us against them. You know what I mean? And for the guys that are doing the real dirt work, you know,
Yeah.
keep it right, man, and keep it to yourselves, man. You know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
be real with each other. That's it. I don't know. Don't be fake. Don't behind the computer and be something you're not. That's one
That's
thing I
right.
never faked jacks about who I was. I never I never ran from. I never told anybody. I was always who I was. Always be yourself. Be true to yourself.
Good
And always try
advice.
to, if you're cool with certain people, try to get them together. Unify, unity, together,
Mhm.
one, love. You know what I mean? Stop trying to separate everybody. I couldn't stand that. That's the one thing I didn't like back in the days. When everybody was like, yo, why are you with this guy? Why you know what I
Yeah,
mean? I learned from Chino
yeah.
BY. Chino BY was a good dude. He took me under his wing. You know, he was the mayor. He was the original mayor of graffiti. And just
Wow.
to clarify something, because I know somebody made an indirect comment towards me. I don't want to say their names. I never self-proclaimed myself as the mayor of graffiti. SAST FSU did.
Mhm.
SAST FSU said, damn, you're just like Chino. You know everybody in graffiti and you bring, and it's the truth. I always try to bring people together. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not gonna lie, between you and I, Jesus, man, I was hurt by a few people in graffiti, man. That I took them under my wing, and I
Mhm.
made them who they are today. That they're paying bills for their family, and they shit on me. They never give me an ounce of respect or recognition, and it hurts me. I don't want to mention their names,
I
but if they
gotcha.
see this and listen, they're gonna know who they are. You hurt my feelings, bro. They know who they are. There's two people. They feed their
I'm glad I'm
families.
not on that list.
They
I'm
were
glad I'm
New
not on
Jacks.
that list.
Bro, that hurts my feelings because they were
Yeah,
New Jacks and I brought them under my wing when nobody else did. I took them out there, fed them. I took them places. I introduced them to people.
yeah.
Never gave me an ounce of respect or recognition, man.
Very my
That's why
thanks.
another thing I'm hurt, bro, Griff. I know it sounds maybe like, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
because that's something that you were so involved and excited about, and time after time again, you get let down, you get let
Yeah.
down, you get let down. It's like that.
That's why with GA's
Yeah.
interview with you was real. GA is a real motherfucker. GA, between you and I, GA is one of the realest motherfuckers I ever met in Griff. I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? When I first met, he could have beat the shit out of me with all that stuff that was going on with AMKU. And he gave me love because of tech, and he must have recognized. You know what I'm saying? And GA
Right.
said it in the interview with you about the stuff with you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Back in
It's
the day,
true, man.
hey man, and you know what? We let bygones be bygones, whatnot.
Yeah,
If you were involved in graffiti, you had to know that that was the game, right?
yeah,
You're gonna have some sort of altercation or whatnot. You find when had people, a lot of damn crews out there, but that's just the way it was back there. Shout out to
right,
NOK crew, shout out to AMK,
right.
shout out to XCC crew, J, all those. I ain't got no issues with none of those folks.
Yeah, we're
That
grown
was
men
just
back
part of
in
the game.
yeah,
So it was
what,
interesting.
yeah,
Sometimes it was perilous. Sometimes people got shook. But that's just the way it was. It was just part of that whole culture. It was crazy.
yeah. It was, and it's a small world. It's weird. Like the thing with another thing, not to keep mentioning Stack, but another thing with Stack and I, how we gelled
Yeah.
was a lot of his people from his crew were from Williamsburg, believe it or not. I don't know if you ever heard of Dump, Skulls, and Van.
Gold. Yeah.
Bro, they were yo, those wound up being really cool dudes. I used to chill with them all the time, bro.
Yeah.
When Stack used to try to he used to like diss me back in the day, I used to go with a girl on Montrose Avenue. That was their neighborhood. And I knew it, but I was always going with my girl, Raquel. And I was always the outsider coming in. And I didn't care because that's my girl. Nothing's going to stop me from seeing my girl. But they used to cross me out. We got a
Yeah.
bullet for you, you fat fuck. I see you eating your chicken. I'm going to get you. And I'm like, damn. So I got to find out who these dudes are. And that's, and I
Were
want,
they affiliated with OTB crew, with Autobahn? I don't know if you and OTB were affiliated with each other or not.
yeah, I think they were. Sports Crew was another good crew back in the day. Remember Sports Crew?
Course, yeah,
Hush
yeah,
was
yeah.
another dude. I used to love that dude. I used to hang out with Hush too. He was
Yeah.
Stack's boy. So it's just a small world. That's another thing with the new people to give them, a little heads up. You never, bro, don't talk shit about people unless talk facts. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna talk shit about somebody, make sure you can back it up. You know what I mean? Because you never know who you are. Like I'm saying with this dude, like Vans and them, they knew my girlfriend's best friend, and that's how we
Uh,
wound up squashing the beef. It was pretty cool with Vans dumping skulls because I used to work out in the gym on Montrose, and Vans's mom used to train me. Yo,
uh,
it's crazy. They chased me one day with dogs. I was scared shit. I ran into the gym. Bro, it's crazy, bro. So fucking Vans runs in, Ma. And his mother comes out. She's like, Anthony, get the hell out of here. That's my son. And that's how Vans and I became really close with Vans, Dump, and Skulls, man. Yo, it's a small
Yeah.
world, bro. That's why, and
So,
again, with graffiti, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I'm getting excited again, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well,
It's
listen,
I got stories for days, man. It's true. I got tons of stories. Bro. I should write a book, man.
you should. You should. Why not? So you got any before we wrap this up, you got any shout outs to folks out there? You probably got like a list of guys you want
Oh
to say,
man,
hey, shout out to my boys, or what's up to,
I don't know.
writers, or well, it's all
LOC.
any
I
shout
don't know.
outs.
Listen. I give a shout out to everybody. Really, I'm cool. I pretty. I have no beef and no problems with anybody. I love everybody in graffiti. So everybody's got a shout out, bro. I don't know.
Gotta be
JSMC.
someone in particular, one person that stands out, say, you know what, this guy, he took care of me, or this guy was, a good mentor, or
A
uh
mentor. You know who was a good mentor to me? God rest his soul. Was Choco Loco HDM.
local. Wow, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Choco Loco was a
Yeah,
he was a good dude, bro. He was a biker. He kind of linked me with he kind of raised us, man. Like the dudes and like the kids, like the young bucks in Williamsburg. He kind of linked because NOK was like the dudes from the projects. They were the
yeah,
big cats, and AMK were the younger dudes. So
right.
Choco Loco was the link to them because Choco Loco lived where AMK was, but he also had family in the projects. So
What
that's
about what about the Gano Gano?
Gano and OK's my boy, man. You know what's crazy? I wound up being close with Gano when I lived on Broadway in Myrtle. I
Yeah,
didn't
that
know who
guy
he
was
was,
oh man, that guy
bro.
was all over the place.
Yo, you want to hear something crazy? Gano is the sweetest dude you'd ever meet in your life, bro. Sweetest cat, bro. And you would never think he was a graffiti writer. Never.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got so I got to see him and I don't know
Pito. Pito. Remember Pito?
Tito.
You used to
And
bum with
what about
Pito?
someone else more like cello? See, not Checo, but cello. Chelo.
Oh, I don't know.
Um,
Oh, I gotta give a shout out to Fuck Crew. Bye. LC, rest in peace. LI, Vic 2. Cheo
to
SMG was my boy, bro. Cheo? You
Chelo.
knew Cheo, right? Cheo
Yeah,
SMG.
yeah. I
Yo,
think
Fuck Crew.
HD might have introduced me to him once. Him and Ever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, HD is cool. Yo, I don't know. We go down the list, man. Everybody, man.
Yeah, that's what's
I
up.
don't know, man. You know what else I gotta give a shout out to? I know it's not graffiti, but you ever heard of the Young Bloods? The
Yeah,
Jamaican posse from Crown
yeah,
Heights? Those are my boys, bro. Believe it or not.
yeah.
People won't know that, but what was his name? Young Rob, a little Rob, a big Rob. He was the president of the Young Bloods. That was my boy, man. I used to go to
Mm.
school with him because he used to go to Van Arsdale and he was with me. Yo, he used to protect me, man. Like it was crazy.
Wow.
But
Young
yeah,
Bloods.
but I don't know, man. It's crazy. I don't know. Sin BYI, Oro, rest in peace. Believe it or not, Sin BYI lives in Bushwick. He used to live in Bushwick.
Mm.
When I found out he lived in Bushwick, it bugged me out. It was crazy when I used to hang out
There
with him.
was there was a sin back in Bushwick that I knew, but it wasn't SIN. It was CIN. It was a young
Okay.
kid. His
Yeah.
brother was out there dealing out there around Jefferson and Wyckoff, but he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
He was a local kid though. But you know
How?
who's not local? Alley Cat. Because Alley Cat is ready. Yeah,
That's
that's right,
cool.
Alley Cat.
You
So
really
he
got
said
into Vietnam?
Alley Cat wants to go. Yeah, Alley Cat wants to go and meet your cat. Hopefully, we can catch Alley Cat on one of your episodes so we can talk about living right, eating right, and maybe even another video on the side, right, Alley Cat?
Yeah, yeah.
I think so. Oh, yeah, well, I know. Yes, you do. I know. We're gonna go open up that
That's up.
can
That's cute.
Well, Stacks, man, I really appreciate your time, man. Time is
Yeah, yeah.
valuable. That's one thing you can't get back. So I appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah,
You
no.
got
Everything's
Newsflash, and this was a lot of information. a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
got a lot,
history.
bro. I'm good. I love it. I love talking, man.
I mean, the graph from neighborhood to neighborhood, from borough to borough, from state to state. I mean, you're all over the place. But I really
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
that. And I know that when the folks see this video and they see your throwies, they're like, "Yeah, Stacs YO crew." But I
Right,
think
right.
maybe at one point, I don't know whether you were there or not. I believe you might have been there. It was some artwork. We were doing some piecing. I think it was me, Arc, Fura, Audi. Zexer was there as my friend.
That was on the
Bex,
roof on Broadway near the projects.
you were there that day.
Yo,
We
we
were
did
rocking
3 walls
beats.
that day. You don't
Yeah,
remember? Sloan TPA was that was the I can't
might have been there too.
who? F's son Zexo was there.
Zexer was also, maybe I wasn't there. Zexer was there, yeah.
Sloan TPA was there. That's the first day Sloan came
No,
back. Remember
that's
Sloan?
right. That's right.
Sloan was there. OS was with us that day. We had the dudes from Sweden there. Remember
Yeah,
Spec? That dude from Sweden?
yeah.
Yeah,
There
that
was a
was
lot
fun
of
that
us
day.
out there. I always remember that day. I was like, yeah, I think Sax was there. Let me go and bring it up.
Oh, you know I gotta give a shout out to it. Hey, of course, Audi and Nash too, bro. It was Audi and Nash did damage, bro, back in the days. Yo, and
Yeah,
Audi, yo, when I met Audi, bro, yo, it was like meeting God, bro. Cause he is the sweetest cat. You would never, you know, yo, you would think somebody like Audi was like a rah rah. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's
yeah,
the gentleman, bro. And I love his tropes were nice too. And
yeah,
Nash
yeah.
was another one.
Nice.
Yo, you want to hear something? Jay used to tell me stories about what JA used to bomb with Nash back in the days. They used to stay the whole weekend in the fucking A yards, I think. He used to tell me. So that's crazy.
Yeah,
So there was always that link with the U5 and JA. Yo,
isn't that something? The
yeah,
way
bro.
things,
But Nash
the
goes
way things
back,
come full circle. And yeah, I mean,
bro.
and he killed stuff with Nash and at OA as well. So I mean, he did a lot of
Right.
damage. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. How is Audi? Do you talk to Audi still? And
I haven't
Nash?
heard from him in a bit, but Nash I've been in contact with more often because Audi's always here, there, moving around. Hard to get to. He's always been kind of reclusive, Audi.
Right, right, right.
That's just his style. But he's come out on a couple of art shows. I think one of them was with KA, TKK, and some other folks.
Oh, that's another K. I
Yeah,
never met KA. K was
yeah.
K was the dude too. I never met him though.
Yeah, so he came out on a couple art shows. He'll come out and then he'll go back into hiding. Then he'll come back out when you least
Yeah.
expect. As a matter of fact, him, RQ5, the president of Chapter 2, and one of my chapter members, Smend, who used to be out in Texas and now I think he's in Minnesota. They went and did some artwork out there in Florida recently, some big graffiti event. And
Really? Get out of here.
they did some good. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post it on this video so you can see.
Oh,
But
cool.
they rock some nice stuff out there. So yeah, 3 U5 members involved in this big, humongous graffiti event. I don't know, there was a couple hundred graffiti artists out there doing their thing. So
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's cool, bro.
yeah, so shout out to all those folks
Yeah.
who
Yo,
spend the optic.
how's Puppet doing? Does he still have the shop on Graham Avenue?
Yeah, he's still got his tattoo shop there.
Get out of here. Really? That's hard.
He's been doing
That's
that
the
for a long time. He's
well,
very well.
IR. I give a shout out to IR and them too, because we used to we used to hang out on the roof over there. You've been there a
Yeah,
couple times, right?
yeah, I've worked a couple pieces there too, here and
The
there.
last
Yeah.
time we were there, it was damn. We had a whole bunch of heads there. He had Smash, I think, was there. Dune, friggin' Shiro from Japan was there. Um,
And
what's his name was there too? Like Fiora was there. Dover, rest in peace. Art.
mm,
Um, what was this dude oh man, Roz was there. Rozzy Roz was there
uh,
from West Side Highway. What is that? What is that?
ROZ or fast.
Yeah, ROZ. Roz was there.
Mm.
Damn, we had a whole bunch of Catch came by. I don't know, man. GA was
So
there, of course.
he's always got a lot of folks. I think he used to go and do this like alien face that it would look like a 69, but it would be like an alien face. Puppet's
Oh,
been extraordinary. Puppet goes back to the early 80s when beatboxing was just starting to get popular. And he was
really?
a
Get out of
great
here.
beatboxer. He was known as Dr. Beat. Back in the
Yeah,
days, they used to call him Dr. Beat. And
yeah.
then he was hanging out with Butcher Posse, for a bit, and then started. He was always artistic. Him, his brother Joker, another very, very talented.
Yeah, I remember
Mello,
Joker. I've heard of
his
him. Yeah, of
brother
course.
as well. They were always good with drawing and art. Another
Yeah,
one that actually got me involved. Back in the days, we used to go and tint windows. He used to show me how to go and tint windows, and we'd be under the William
really.
Bridge tinting windows, making money. Right there in Manhattan, right
Get
underneath.
out of here. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's cute. I remember one day we were hanging out. He's like, "Yo, he likes to play video games." He's like, "Yeah, I like to see yo, because he did a couple few basketball players." He says, "I
yeah.
like to play the games where I can see my tattoos on the players." I'm like, "Oh shit, it's pretty hard." Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
pretty.
The puppet.
He's a all time. He's got a t-shirt business.
Yeah, God
You know,
bless him, bro.
he
Yeah.
does so many. He's multi-talented.
And
Yeah,
he's a sweet dude too, straight up
yeah,
sweet dude. That's what I love. That's why I always click with Star. I don't, just do it. That's what another thing to tell new people. Don't be rah rah if you're not rah
yeah,
rah. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Be cool and genuine. You know what they say? You catch more bees with honey than vinegar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
yeah.
man. That's why I loved all them dudes, man. IR and GA and oh man. And it's crazy because sometimes when you wind up meeting people on the wrong way, they wind up becoming it's
The
crazy.
friends too
Your
much.
first impression, sometimes you always say, "Oh, your first
Yeah,
impressions." No, that's not true, man. You can't make it. That's another thing. Don't ever pass judgment on somebody based on somebody else's word. Make your own decision on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Don't let somebody try to influence your feelings on somebody. That's another thing I used to deal with and I hated. You know what I'm saying? To new people, yeah,
yeah,
make your own decisions on people. Make your own feelings. When you feel them out, you feel them yourself. Don't feel what this other person's feeling because they probably you know what? There is a lot of in this game too. Player haters, where they want
yeah,
to be, they want a friend horde. I dealt
yeah.
with that too a lot too. Like I'd rather introduce you to somebody than keep them away from you. There's
Right,
people that want to keep people away from each other because they want to keep them to themselves.
right. Yeah, you're
Why?
right.
But
They don't
why?
really share that.
Why
Yeah.
why not just stay together? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Whatever, man. I'm getting all excited again.
But that's good words to live by, and I appreciate the sentiments and whatnot. Great words of advice from Stax, YO crew,
Yeah.
and once again, thanks for
So
coming
are you
on the
running
show,
again?
man.
Are you gonna run for 28 again?
You're gonna see. Well, right now, not to get into the politics, but I will say that I will. Right now, we're in the midst of creating a constitution for a brand new political party, and it's called the
Yeah, I
New
saw that.
Government. The New Government of the People, the new GOP, has nothing to do with the Republicans. We want to do something that's going to be for all Americans, and that's the way it should be. So that's what makes
Is,
America
is
great.
that
Yeah.
something is that the thing that Elon Musk was talking about too?
No,
Because
no,
Elon Musk
that's
mentioned something like that.
they
He wanted
wanted
to
to go
create.
and create a party as well, and that's fine if he does. But I'm doing my own thing. We're going to go
Right,
and create.
right, right.
Well, so
Yeah, that's
keep
tough,
an eye
man.
out.
That's a big thing talking about that stuff nowadays. That's another thing. I think they need to get rid of the parties, man.
Yeah, or at
That's
least,
another thing too. Not to talk politics, but it is a big
yeah.
thing of what's going on in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It is because I think you saw what with the government shutdown we had not long ago. We saw that both parties really failed us. So it's like we need to do something
yeah,
different, or else we're going to continue to do the same thing. Hopefully, we won't be coming into another furlough or government shutdown
no,
this month. So
but
we'll keep our fingers crossed, man.
I know, especially for you. What I want to say is though, like, you got to agree to disagree. Like with all my heart, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna look at you without coming in my eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you can't say like in other words, like I can't say I support someone. You know, if I like what they're doing, if they're doing a good job, you know what I mean. But you can't say that you have hate in your heart, and you got to tell me what I have to think in order to love me. You know what I mean?
right.
Like
Exactly.
there's
You can't
people that
force
don't
it
talk.
from the people. Yeah,
You
you
know,
can't force that on other people and tell people what they
no,
should be feeling or what they should be doing.
exactly. It's like religion too. You can't tell me my religion is wrong and your religion's right when religion's
Yeah,
man-made. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
just you got to agree to disagree. You got to accept me for what I
Yeah.
am. You can't say you have hate in your heart because of a certain belief you have. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Especially, you know what I'm saying? It's I don't
And
know, man. It's tough,
along the
man.
lines, more
It's
along the lines of saying like most people they believe that they're Republicans or they believe that they're Democrats, but honestly, there's no such thing as a 100% Republican
no,
or
of course
Democrat.
not.
There's always
No
going to be
way.
a give somewhere, depending on whatever the topic is. So I like to say that we're kind of more of the moderate in the middle of both because we have we have we support some of the things the Republicans do and some of the Democrats do, because I think
Right,
most people are like that. We're more in the middle. We're more in the center. So
right.
hopefully we'll see what happens in 2028. But yeah, keep an eye out for it. And who knows, if I'm
Yeah,
up there in the White House, maybe I'll go and create a holiday for us artists.
yeah, that'd be cool. Imagine that. Yeah, put up a wall in the White House. Shit.
Yeah. Well, Stacks, man, once again, thanks for your time, man. I really It's an honor and a pleasure to speak with you, man. You always keep it real, and I hope that we get a lot of hits with this video. I'm pretty sure people are going to be happy and excited to go see your artwork, and keep in contact. We'll keep in
Good.
touch.
Sounds good. Sounds good, bro. Thanks. I love you, bro. God bless everybody, man.
All right, peace.
Take care, man. Thanks for having me. Whoa, how do you do?